we are. Ernie Pack.
SQUATCHMAN.
Mr. Greg Yost, the one and only SQUATCHMAN.
Good evening.
No Denise here tonight. She's busy. I got her. I cracked the whip on her and told her to get some work done. So she's doing it. We've got a lot of folks coming in. Starting on Thursday, folks are going to start arriving for the TRIFECTA coming up this weekend. And so we're trying to get the house ready. Squatch, there's Eric Stevens in the house. Good to see you. Denise is listening, folks, so look out. And there's Ernie and Greg.
Insulting Ernie in a timely manner. I'm painting.
Yeah, let's put that up there. See there?
See there?
She's so nice. And there's Eric Stevens, who's always here. Vernon Green, who was with us just a week ago.
Hey, what's up, Vernon?
There's the Todd.
Hey, the Todd. What's up, Todd?
Miss Leanne SQ.
Hi, Leanne. What's up, sis?
I'll try to keep up with the comments over here in the chat as good as I can. Don't have my usual sidekick over here to prompt me to pay attention to the comments over there, but I'm going to do my best to keep up with them. We wanted to come on tonight, though, and talk a little bit about the TRIFECTA, and, you know, try to get – Were you on Into the Night?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
I mean, he does a few podcast appearances and stuff.
Yeah, I do a few here and there, but it doesn't sound familiar.
That doesn't ring a bell?
But let me clarify, there's a couple people out there that have stole my name. They're not really a SQUATCHMAN.
They're Squatch imposters.
Yeah, they are. Posers.
Mark Brown. What's up, Mark? Mark will be here in a couple weeks. Him and Big Daddy Andy, Andrew DeSanti, and Stephen Kometz are going to be coming here to the house. Right. Big Daddy Andy will be here this weekend.
Okay, yeah. Rerun.
Maybe it was a rerun.
Yeah.
Okay. Might have been. But no, we've got the TRIFECTA coming up this weekend at Fort Duffield. If you haven't got your tickets yet, folks, and you're anywhere within range of West Point, Kentucky, I strongly urge you to get online and get your tickets. You can go to extremeticketing.com or the Get Haunted website, and you can find tickets for that. It's Big Daddy Andy is not coming to the TRIFECTA. I thought he was coming to the TRIFECTA. Sorry about that. We're broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube, Vernon. So you'll probably not see the Facebook chat if you're on YouTube. A lot of these folks are tuning in from Facebook. And there's Miss Sarah Jane, our boss at Get Haunted.
Hey, Sarah.
She'll be coming in this weekend for a good time. So it's going to be a really good event, folks. I mean, we have not only the SQUATCHMAN, we also have the Todd and Leanne of the Black Wolf Paranormal. We've got myself and Denise, of course. You've got Christopher Lee Jansen coming in, who's going to be conducting the CE5 experiment. He's also going to offer readings. Rob, Sarah, the Get Haunted gang is coming in to host the event. It's going to be a really good time. I was at Fort Duffield Friday night with a group out of and there's Vernon. Now he's joined us on Facebook. There you go. But this past Friday night we had a group in out of Iowa. Ghostorical Investigations is what they're called, I believe. And they had some incredible encounters. I mean, we had disembodied voices coming from the woods. We had lots of noises and things going on that we couldn't explain, that were not the normal noises of the woods there. But before we even got started investigating, found a footprint about where am I? About that long, and showed them, and they were pretty impressed. They weren't really Bigfoot people, but that kind of got their attention. And
yeah.
yeah. And then I told them what I've learned from the SQUATCHMAN about eye shine. We started talking about eye shine and how oftentimes we'll see these bright flashes of light or orbs of light around the same time that we're seeing or having the Bigfoot activity. And lo and behold, we had that happen. There's Miss Courtney Peterson. Hello, good to see you. But they had a great night. They saw some eye shine.
The bright light.
The bright light. We had, the forest just started glowing at one point down over below the fort wall. And then that glow moved across the forest right out in front of us. And we thought it was going to come out of the woods. I mean, it was back in the trees where we couldn't see exactly what it was. But it moved so fast and it was so steady. It was not like, my first thought was that maybe it was one of the mountain bikers had gotten up there at night with a bright headlight or something. But that would have been bouncing and moving around. No, this light just stayed steady and went really fast from one part of the forest across to the other part of the forest. I mean, like that.
Yeah, like Ernie said, or Vernon said you got growled at the weekend before that.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He says I grabbed onto him so fast. No, it was the other way around. Yeah. Vernon was like, oh my gosh.
But yeah, Vernon and the two ladies with him.
Buffy. Night Song Paranormal. Barbie and Buffy.
Yeah, Barbie and Buffy. They seen the eye shine. They seen them moving around. I mean, there was one playing with them 10 feet from them over by the cabin.
Yeah.
Hiding behind the cabin, coming out, looking at them. I think Buffy was talking to it. Vernon was talking to it. Yeah, that's what time, our activity is going to be like. When you come up there to the fort, you better be ready, man.
You never know what.
You never know what. Yeah, expect the unexpected. Just like any location, paranormal investigations, haunted houses, hospitals, what it may be. Up here on the top of this hill, Ernie has tapped into this like an untouched gold mine. There's never been investigations up there. There's never been people up there doing this type of stuff until Ernie moved down here to West Point and he got in with the mayor. And now he's running these events up there. So you're very lucky to know Ernie and what he does. And he has opened up a whole new window of opportunity for paranormal investigators. And like the TRIFECTA, and then I went up there and the Bigfoots are there now. We see bright lights all the time. We seen one tonight, Buffy and them were there. We thought it was a car coming up the hill. Yep. It wasn't no car, it was just a bright light. And I already didn't even walk down there, nothing down there. And we had the gate locked, so no way to get up there. So I mean, we see this
just about every time.
Every time.
Just about every time.
And this super trifecta, that's what we're going to call it, the super trifecta.
Super trifecta.
Because we're going to make it the best one yet. I mean, look what Vern says right here.
Yeah. It truly was a moving experience. Sometimes you lose the hype feeling, and then bam, it gets recharged with one growl and one big footstep. And yeah, he experienced that, and that was his first encounter with the forest people.
Yeah, Todd says he's so lucky.
I think that almost seems sarcastic.
Is that a jab at you?
That almost seems sarcastic. Almost.
Almost.
No, I'll tell you, I'm the lucky one because I met this guy. Denise and I met this guy 5 years ago. Actually, got my Facebook memory
Tonight,
today.
yeah.
5 years ago today was when we had our epic encounter at your forest in southern Indiana.
Yeah.
We've talked about it on here before. We've talked about it on a lot of shows before. The 7 trees that got pushed over right after he asked him to do something epic. And then we saw 5 fellows standing there, forest people, in the lightning flash. We saw the other one shaking the one tree until it broke off and the other tree fell to the ground, and then it jumped down and ran off in the woods.
Pushed the 2-foot Indiana red oak out of the ground by its roots.
Root ball.
Something a bulldozer could do.
Yeah.
Man couldn't do this. And this happened right in front of her eyes.
Yeah.
Me and Ernie seen the one up in the tree, and Denise was shaking that tree going like that. Then finally it broke to let the other tree go across the road. It was a one-way road. I told them I was leaving. They didn't want me to leave. They're like, hell no, you ain't going nowhere. You're staying here. So we had to go back the other way, up the wrong way of the one way.
Yeah, we had to get out of there by driving the wrong way. Fortunately, it was like 4 a.m. by the time we left, and so nobody was back there. But Vernon's trying to suck up for some reason. I don't know what's up with Vernon, but he's trying to suck up to
what about Leanne?
Let's see.
Yeah, I agree. Greg has really opened our eyes being out in the woods and at his campsite.
Yep.
Many experiences I can't explain.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing about Leanne. Yeah, she bought into the way my theory, the way I do it, man. The way I pour my heart and soul into this. And she does it the way I did. She asked me to take pictures, and she's got beautiful pictures, man. Yep. She's got the one clear Bigfoot standing right there. You can see his head, his hair, big shoulder. Yeah, it was a 9-10 footer right in front of us at the campsite.
Yeah.
And she got the beautiful blue eye glow, which almost looked like black lights. And they wouldn't give her pictures like that if they didn't like her. So you got to bind to my teachings of what I teach, of how I do it and what works and what doesn't work.
And, just like we say a lot of times with paranormal investigations, I'm sure paranormal investigators have heard it. You've heard me say it on here a lot. Denise has said it. It's energy, and it's about the energy you bring has so much to do with what your experience is going to be. And so we go out there. We always try to be in a good mood. We're always cutting up with one another. We poke at one another a little bit, maybe whatever it takes to just kind of lighten the mood and get any tension or negative thoughts out of our heads, and then open our eyes. I mean, all of our eyes, not just these two, but all of our eyes.
And everybody get on the same page.
Yeah, get on the same wavelength.
Generate that energy.
And it will come back to you.
A big beacon of energy, man. A big tire.
Like a big magnet.
The magnet, like Nikola Tesla said, a high positive energy will attract another high positive energy. And that's what we're doing. We're attracting the forest people. I mean, they thrive with their energy. If you go out there, Debbie and Donnie Downer, going, I don't believe in these things. Nothing's going to happen. You go out there, there's all this fancy equipment, infrared lights, everything that would try to catch one. You're not going to see them because they don't want that. But if you go out there with your heart, with your good intentions, and you talk to them, you can find out, man, good things will happen.
Yeah.
I'm not talking once or twice. I'm talking every time I go to the forest. I don't care if it's here in West Point, out the Clark, the Bellwoods Cave, wherever I go, man, the biggies are there. Is that a coincidence, or they love me? Right?
That's how it seems.
And that's the way it is up at the fort. I tell me that story the other day. You told me about the the black trucks and the helicopters.
Oh yeah, we Fort Duffield is just, I mean, it's a 2-minute drive from the house.
Yeah, from the house.
It's right up on top of the hill over here across from the house, and was seeing a lot of helicopters. I mean, we've got a tactical airfield for Fort Knox, a lot of Army helicopters down at that end of town. So we have a lot of traffic with Blackhawks and other helicopters in this area on a daily basis. But one day there was a lot of traffic of helicopters that were just kind of hovering right around the top of the hill over there at Fort Duffield. And I got curious. I rode over there to see if there was something going on that, you know, I would like to see. And I got over there, and there was a truck, a white pickup truck, blocking the road going back to Fort Duffield. And on the side of it, I believe it said Fort Knox Game Management, which I didn't know Fort Knox military base had their own game management, but apparently they do. And there were several black trucks, SUVs and pickup trucks and stuff that I could see on down the road. And so I just turned around and came back to the house. And then I believe it was in the West Point community page on Facebook, there was a post that was put out that said that Fort Knox had that area closed off because they were searching for a dangerous animal. And
yeah, dangerous animal.
I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, so somebody seen a Bigfoot up there and freaked out, contacted the authorities, and boom.
Yeah.
They went on a manhunt for Biggie, but they're not going to find him. And yeah, Wade's got a couple questions up there he's been asking.
Yeah, Wade Kirby. We're going to meet Wade up at the Rock Island.
Oh, cool.
Esoteric Expo. Wade Kirby lives in Ed and Lorraine Warren's place. He's one of the curators of the Warren Occult Museum.
Wow.
We'll have Annabelle up there too. So get your tickets for the Rock Island Esoteric Expo if you want to see the real Annabelle.
What, the haunted doll?
Yes. Yeah. But he says, since they're aware of the presence of our visitations, they are to shift vibrations, and are they aware of those vibrations? Do you think they know the nights you visit them from the energy? I do. My answer is absolutely. They know our energy. They know your energy.
Yeah,
they know we're coming before we get there oftentimes.
Yeah, they can also tell who you are by your scent.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody puts off a different scent. And once they know your scent, and they'll smell it. So, yeah. And another question.
Can we calm them down about the helicopters? I don't think they have any worries about the helicopters.
No, they don't care about the Army, the helicopters.
I think they can. They could probably take down a helicopter if they wanted to.
Yeah, they have eluded. Yeah, they have eluded man for thousands of years, and they're not about to be caught or shot or killed by a man. It's probably impossible.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a flesh and blood animal. I mean, if that's what it was, it'd be in a zoo by now. It'd be in a cage.
It'd be mounted on.
So all these hunters out here, they would have bagged one by now. I mean, you can only go by, they're just a smart, elusive animal. I mean, if that's all it was an animal, there ain't no animal. It's going to make a mistake. It's an animal. It's going to make the right move, the wrong move. And it's going to get caught. It's going to get hunted. It's going to get caught. It's going to get trapped. But yet this never happens because there's so much more to these things.
Not just an animal.
Yeah. So, as far as eluding helicopters, the Army, it would never happen. They can turn invisible. I've seen them turn invisible right in front of me.
We've seen them go from what looks like the classic Bigfoot flesh and blood
into nothing,
thing walking through
in the thin air.
Just yeah.
I mean,
in the middle of a field where there's nothing for them to hide behind. They just vanish.
Yeah, I mean, you see his house we're sitting in now, Ernie's house, the Ditto house. Yeah, they got evidence of the forest people coming in this house. They got their footprints in their hallway. Big ass footprints.
Yeah.
So they can walk.
It was after a weekend in the forest.
Yeah, a weekend with me. They liked Ernie and Denise so much.
They came home with
us. Ever since day one, they came home with them. They've been in my house before. They don't show themselves, but you can feel their energy when they're in there. And me and Ernie was talking about this before we went on the show. They're a traveler of both time and space. They can be here, they can be there, they can be everywhere. How? Good question.
Quantum physics.
Quantum physics are just one of them things.
Multidimensional universe. All of those things. There's a lot of scientific reasons why they can do these things that my Billy ass doesn't understand necessarily.
I don't think we never will.
No, but that's why we are drawn to the forest every chance we can get, is to maybe learn from the forest people themselves.
Yeah,
some of these answers.
Keep learning and learning and learning.
And we don't call ourselves researchers. I know a lot of people. Yeah, Wade, good point. Yeah, Robert, you are exactly right. It's Bob Watson in the house. Glowing eyes, orb,
hey, Bob.
Quantum Sasquatch, exactly.
Bob knows all about it. He's one of the first guys I started
part of
out
Team
with.
SQUATCHMAN.
Yeah, part of Team SQUATCHMAN. He definitely believes in everything I tell him, and he's a big fan of that too. Yeah, he knows there's a lot more to him than just a forest monkey.
Just a big undiscovered North American primate.
Undiscovered. I mean, for thousands of years, undiscovered.
Yeah.
I mean, how could that be?
And thermal imaging and trail cameras everywhere, and some of the best trackers in the world ever.
Best hunters in the world trying to hunt them. And again, until they put one on the slab and they room doing an autopsy on them, you'll never know, because that's never going to happen anyway.
Right.
And people will say, well, how come they never find a body? That's the most frequent.
Maybe there's not one. They're energy beings.
Yeah, maybe it turns into energy and poof, back into the universe. Yeah, you never know.
Just like
our
spirit, our souls.
They never write anything off about these. It's just like people, well, how come the pictures are always blurry? But like when Mr. Kirby was saying, different vibrations, man, different energy frequencies. Our cameras weren't designed to take pictures like that of something of high vibrational energy, and they're really.
Our cameras are designed to capture a three-dimensional world.
Yeah, a three-dimensional world, like dogs, cats, whatever. Not a forest person,
right?
But when you do get a good picture, it seems like the more energy you possess, you get a better picture. That's where it all started with me. They were attracted to my energy. I'm a high energy guy. I'm a good-hearted guy, and they seen this in me. And I wasn't out looking for Bigfoot. I just got out of the Navy. And Bigfoot was the last thing on my mind. They came to me. They have been with me ever since that first day. They're a big part of my life now. And I cannot picture my life without them in it anymore. And you'll never know all the answers about it. Just like Ernie
Right.
said, you got to get out. They're not going to come knocking on the door.
It's-
Oh yeah, by the way, we do this, we do
hand
that.
you a brochure. Here's what we can do, and here's how we do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a puzzle. You just got to go out and keep finding the pieces to the puzzle. You know, like Bob said, they're a master of their surroundings. Yeah, they're a master of everything they do. I mean, you know, they eat. They don't go to the grocery store. They forage their own food. They heal. They take care of their sick. Surely they don't take them to the doctors. They manage to stay warm in the winter and stay cool in the summer. How could they do that without heating and air conditioning? Everything is in the forest. You know, they don't need man for nothing. And the people they do open up to are the people they want to interact with and they trust. Most people that go out there, well, I've been out there 50 years, I ain't never seen a Bigfoot. What kind of man
you're looking for an animal?
Yeah, what kind of man are you? Are you a bad man? Do you have lower energy? Have you done a lot of bad stuff in your life?
Do you have bad intentions?
A lot of,
you do have an encounter?
Yeah, a lot of hate. They don't seek people like that. They seek people like myself and Ernie, Denise, Bob, Leanne,
the Todd.
Todd.
We'll go ahead and say the Todd, even though.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, once they know you, and they love you. I mean, they got a playful relationship with Todd. Yeah, they like throwing rocks at Todd.
Yeah.
And it's in a playful way.
They never hit him with one.
Yeah, they never hit him, but then just lob them up there by him.
Well, that first one that hit that cooler was not lobbed. That thing was winged.
Yeah, the Indiana.
It hit that cooler hard.
Yeah, the Indiana fastball.
Joanne asked, could your Squatch tell you if that famous picture, I guess she's talking about the Patterson-Gimlin footage, if that was true and if it was one of them? Could you, if you ever got the chance, I'm sure that'd be one of the questions you'd have for him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're talking about the Bob Gimlin, Patterson video. I wholeheartedly think that's true. I don't think you could fake anything like that.
Not in 1967.
No.
Even the best of suits back then. I mean, they were making Planet of the Apes back then.
Yeah, but it was nothing like
that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many breakdowns of it. The muscles moving under the fur. Mm-hmm. The breasts, the big buttocks. I mean, the long arms.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about that says Squatch.
It was yeah.
I mean, what a lot of people can't believe is how they got such a good video filming of that. Well, like I say,
maybe they thought at that time it's time to go ahead and actually
or they were very
open
lucky.
The door a little bit.
Or they were very lucky that day. I mean, they have been finding Bigfoot tracks up that way, up in Bluff Creek. So, and plus it wasn't as high tech, 4K, 5K. It was an 8mm camera. Yeah. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe Patty, like a phone, they don't care if you take pictures of them with your phone. They don't like that infrared. They don't like that flare. That thermal. They don't like that. They will not come around with something like a phone or an 8mm. Maybe she wasn't threatened. Right. But from what I understand from the forest people, they have validated, not me, but the other people, that yes, Patty was one of them. And they even told this person that I'm friends with that she is still alive today. And their lifespans are a lot longer than ours. They're anywhere from 150 to 250 years. They're the ancient ones, just like the biblical characters used to live. Moses was 140 years old out in the desert, leading the people to the promised land. 140 wasn't nothing back in them days. Man has lost how to live like that. The government and all the food we eat and all the pollution and everything is killing us off way before our time. We should be living way longer. I mean, there's people dying in their 60s now that should be living into their 100s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All because of our lifestyle, the pollutants we eat, all the garbage. The forest people are out there eating pure, eating healthy, nothing but stuff in the forest. Everything they eat comes from the forest.
Yep.
And occasional stealing from people's gardens, and
or maybe a crispy donut or something.
Yeah, so I'll go out there and spoil them. Yeah, with
Set
sugar.
a Reese cup out.
Mess their teeth all
or
up.
Something. Yeah.
but that's a real video. I mean,
I agree. I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at. I mean, that fascinated me from the time I was a kid. That video, from the first time I saw it, and I've watched that video. I can't tell you how many thousands of times over the years. I wish. Here's what I really wish that was in that video was a good shot of the soles of her feet as she was walking, but she was behind that pile of brush. You couldn't see her feet,
and you kind of do see it in that one picture, kind of white.
Yeah, you can see just a piece of it.
Yeah, just a piece of it, like the pad of it.
Yeah, but Wade brings up a point. Could you imagine if they used vibrational frequency in the court system to determine the truth? And I mean, the modern day lie detector tests do a very generic version of that, when you're hooked up to these sensors and they tell if you're nervous or whatever by your reactions, but that's not a true vibrational frequency. A vibrational frequency could be measured from outside without probes attached to your body and everything.
Yeah, I personally met Bob Gimlin. I mean, he's a very honest, truthful cowboy. He wouldn't fake. I mean, you couldn't fake nothing like that. It just wouldn't happen. And, Wade's, thanks for the compliments. You guys never disappoint. Hey, well, that's something me and Ernie had. We had a connection since day one.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how you meet somebody, you feel like you know them all your life. You're like, man, I really like this dude. Yeah, he felt the same way about me.
Is that vibrational?
Yeah, vibration. Our energy
that we picked up on it.
It tells us how energies are going to connect. Just like Bob Watson here, same way.
Yep.
Denise, Todd, Leanne. We all got that high energy, and we all get together. Big things happen.
Crazy things happen.
Crazy things happen.
People think we're insane because we talk about some of the things that we encounter or experience, and come out with us because we generally don't disappoint when we bring new people into the circle.
And a lot of people think, doing stuff what we do, anybody can do it. When I go out in the woods and these events and stuff, I mean, I throw my heart into this. I throw every ounce of energy out and emitting everything I got, man. And I go home the next day and I am burnt. I sleep all day because I have exhausted myself.
You poured into it.
But then I wake up and I go, what an amazing night.
Yeah.
So it's
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
the universe, man. The universe is a great thing.
Absolutely. Wade has another good question. Do you think there's such a connection that they know you're talking about them right now?
Yeah, sure do.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I recently spoke at a Bigfoot conference in Indiana. I'll be speaking again this year, and Ernie and Denise was there speaking. When I was up on the stage, I had so much of an energy burst going. I felt them up there with me. I did such a good job. I didn't even think I could do something like this. Talk in front of over 300 people out there. But I did it with such confidence. And I gave the people what they wanted. And it was like Big Red was right there. Say this, say that. Do this. you'll tell them about that. And it just went so good. And I honestly think he was there with me. Just like right now, we could have one of them in the room here, sitting there. We could have a couple of them standing back here.
You never know.
My energies are always high, but doing a show with Ernie, we always like to, turn up the energy meter. Get the people interested in what we're speaking about, and have a good topic. We just don't want to get up here and blab about,
footprints,
how's the weather,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than the just the little superficial things.
Bob.
Yeah, we've lost our way of self-sustaining survival like the native Indian. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bob. Yeah. If it got ugly out there, man, mankind today, you better know the forest people.
You better have a relationship with them. Yeah.
And somebody like Bob, man, he's the best fisherman I know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he'll feed his man catching fish every day.
All right, Bob, you're hired when the zombie apocalypse happens. You're hired as the official.
Right. Yeah, what's that?
Leanne says it does get wild what we experience when we're all together.
Yeah, she's right. And the more people like us, the greater things could be.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago at the house, we had Night Song Paranormal here. Vernon, who was in the chat earlier, I don't know if he's still in, was here along with Buffy and Barbie. And they we were talking about the forest people and how it's not an animal and how it's an energy being, basically like a spirit of the forest, if you will. And one showed up down in our parlor and touched Barbie on the back. And she was blown away by that. So
right after you was talking about them.
Yeah. So they're
and it seems like when I tell stories about them around the campfire, shit will happen.
Yeah, they'll come into the campfire. I mean, our public events that we do at Fort Duffield, and that you'll experience pretty much the same thing this weekend with the trifecta,
if not more.
Yeah,
with all these people.
Yeah, a lot of good energy.
A lot of good energy.
A lot of high energy folks with a lot of connection. Anyway, we don't go out in the woods and bang on trees. We don't do a bunch of howls. We don't do the things that you hear about people who are Bigfoot hunters doing. We sit around a campfire and talk, and then you start seeing eye shine off in the woods. You start hearing something moving through the trees. You might hear a vocalization now and then. And we're just hanging out by the campfire talking. We're not out hunting Bigfoot. We're just sitting there and inviting them into our circle.
They come to us,
and they will, and it
happens all the time.
And it sound to people who have never experienced it, it might sound totally like a bunch of bullshit, to be honest. But there's countless people over here in the chat that have experienced it with us, and have countless people that have been to the events and stuff that or even just up to your forest, and we just go there to hang out.
The camp. No, with the same stuff at Leroy's camp house.
Yeah.
The IBRO. I mean, I've taught a lot of them people up there the ways of the forest people. And
from what I hear, you demonstrated it at the KBRO camp out recently.
I had a group, man. I demonstrated what I could do, and a lot of stuff happened. I glow. I was asking questions, and getting a tree knock. Every question I ask, I go, if that's the truth, can you give me a tree knock? And I'll give you an example. At the end of the graveyard back there, there's a light over a grave. This is a real old grave out in the middle of the woods, and it was one of them, solar lights, really bright. and it was a small graveyard, about a half the size of a football field, a rectangular like. So it wasn't that far back there. So there's 6 or 7 of us sitting there. I already talked to him, asked him to do stuff for the people. I said donuts out there for him over by the woods. And all of a sudden, this guy yells out, "Bigfoot!" And right there where that light is, you see a pair of legs, walking right, the light
right
went
in front
out.
of the light.
Yeah, right in front of the light. And immediately the light went out. So I'm like, wow, man. And a lot of people seen that. Some of them didn't. I just seen a glimpse of the legs. But the other guy seen the whole Bigfoot body. And we talked for about a minute about it. And he goes, well, you think it was a Bigfoot? Or do you think it was a spirit? And I go, well, that's a spirit, man. I've never seen a spirit with legs like that. I mean, that thing was huge.
That's a big spirit.
So I asked him, I said, hey, if that was you to just walk by that light back there in the graveyard and drain the light, can you give me a tree knock to let me know that was you? Give me a little validation. That within 10 seconds. Whack! Coming from the woods where he was at. So they really like that.
Yeah.
And then through the night went on, I asked a couple more questions and got answers again by the way of tree knocks. And they open up the donuts.
Same way they usually do.
Yeah.
Slit,
but they didn't take any. But they did touch one and put their fingerprint on the plastic there. So there was a big fingerprint there.
Nice.
That was pretty intriguing.
Yeah.
So again, someplace I've never been to, way down in
Eastern Kentucky.
Yeah, somewhere in Kentucky. I've never been down there, but yet, I
had a connection.
Had a connection immediately.
Yeah.
I went out to this undisclosed forest and did my thing, man. I talked to the forest, emitted my energy, and boom. Stuff started happening. Yeah, a lot of people doubt me. But like Ernie said, if you see me in action doing it, you wouldn't doubt me because I'm real and the forest people are real. And we have a connection like that. I mean, we're tight.
And I've seen it. And, I mean, I've talked many times about our first encounter, Denise and I, how we were not Bigfoot believers necessarily. We didn't deny it. We didn't doubt it. But we had to be proven, or we had to have our own experience before we could have a thought on it, really. I was fascinated by the topic, but, it wasn't something that was in the front of my mind. I was in a cemetery doing a paranormal investigation, trying to communicate with a spirit. And we had a Bigfoot come and find us while we were doing that. And that was the beginning of my journey down this road. And then that led to me meeting this guy and seeing what he could do. And the first time, I've said it before, the first time that I saw him walk out to the forest, because I started paying more attention to Bigfoot hunting. And, I saw these people on TV, out there knocking on trees and howling and all the things that you see on Finding Bigfoot or some of the television shows. And I thought that was how you did it. And then I met this guy, and he walks out to the forest, puts his hands up, and starts talking to them. My friends. And, just says whatever he's got to say, whatever he's led to say.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
And they respond almost immediately in exactly the way that he asked them to, in a way that was very, very convincing.
Yeah, it couldn't have been any better.
No.
No.
Nikki is watching from Australia. Good to have you in here. Hope things are going well.
Hey, how you doing, Nikki? The land down under.
That's right.
We don't have kangaroos here.
We don't. They've
I'd
got yowies there, though.
I'd rather a box of Bigfoot than a kangaroo. Yeah, them things are mean, ain't they?
They look mean.
Yeah, they look mean.
Yeah, I saw a meme where it said that kangaroos are just deer who've been to prison.
Yeah. Yeah. And
they worked out. They get all buffed.
Yeah, they try to drown your dog. Yeah, they're good at that, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the ways they drown a lot of dingoes out here.
Was that what a dog
That's
is?
what
A
they call
dingo?
them. Yeah, there's dingoes over there in Australia.
Cool.
There's a lot of things in Australia that want to kill you. I used
sharks,
snakes and spiders as big as your friggin' head, and yeah, I don't want to go to Australia anymore.
Hey, I've been to Perth. I was in the Navy, man. My ship went to Perth.
That's where she's from.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That was awesome.
See, she's from Paranormal Perth.
Oh, hey. Hello, Perth. SQUATCHMAN was there. I got drunk as a skunk area. Yeah, don't tell the law dogs they still might be looking for me and my buddies.
He might have warrants at Perth. He's not allowed to go back. No, getting back to the trifecta this weekend, folks. I mean, we got about 13 minutes left here in the first hour of the show, but we might run over a little bit. He and I tend to talk a lot when we get together, so you never know how long this show's going to go. But the trifecta event, like I say, if you can possibly make it, there's still time to buy tickets. It's next weekend. It's at Fort Duffield, this place that we've been talking about, where we've had a lot of great experiences of all kinds. We've had UFO activity up there. We've had Bigfoot activity up there, forest people. And we have a lot of paranormal activity. And this weekend, the trifecta, that's what that's all about. That's what the trifecta is those three things.
Yeah, and I'll tell you real quick how easy it is to get stuff. Yeah, I went up there one night. I'm always involved with Ernie's events up there. And I was up there with a group of people. We was up on the wall. And I was showing them where the different cannon spots were. The cannons ain't up there. Ernie wants to get them there one day, but right now they're just the dugouts where they used to be. So as I was telling the group I was with about them, like every 15 feet there was a cannon. So they walked on down the wall, and I stayed there by one of the cannons. And I asked the soldier, I was inspecting the fort, and I wanted to know if his cannon was ready to fire. And I didn't hear. I had my digital voice recorder going. Yeah, I'm a Bigfooter. I've never been ghost hunting. I just got into with Ernie and Denise. I'm just interested in it. I'll never. I got enough
never
time.
Call yourself a ghost hunter.
No, because I got enough time with Bigfoot.
Right.
But I was playing around that night with my digital recorder. And I said, "Is this cannon ready to fire?" And I didn't hear nothing. So I asked it again. I said, "Look, my name's Captain Yost. I want to know, is this cannon ready to fire?" So I didn't think of it. So I walked off. So I walked down the hill to a place where Ernie said they used to sit there and eat their chow and drink coffee. So I walked up to that spot and I said, "Hey, good evening, boys." I said, "They feeding you good out here?" Nothing, of course, and recorders going. You're real quiet, nothing, nobody talking, moving, just me there. So I said it again. I said, "Well, look, man, I'm Captain Yost. I'm inspecting the fort. I want to make sure y'all getting good chow here, and everything's going all right, man. You eating good? Let me know." So I stayed there another couple seconds, and I walked off. When I got home the next day, I listened to it. And when I asked about the cannon, you could hear like a metal door, like at the bottom of the cannon.
The breech.
Yeah, the breech where after they
chink chink.
Yeah, chink. And then down by the coffee area, it sounded like a aluminum coffee can pouring into an aluminum coffee cup. The kind they used to use back in that era.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Because that's the first time I ever done anything like that. And I already brought that up the other night. It didn't sound like much at the time, But if you look back at that, that was epic.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still up at the, yeah, my point is, they're still up guarding that fort. Yeah, that fort, it had 900 soldiers up there, right?
Oh, there were more than that. There were a lot. I don't have the exact number in my head right now.
And being Memorial Day, we honor the dead military people. With just the people that died up there, you got to look at all the other people that served up there.
48 confirmed it.
I mean, they say a lot of people, a lot of guys that were in the military, when they die, they go back to the military days. Like I was in the Navy, I seen all these Navy ships are haunted. The guys are going, they didn't die on the ship. They're going back there because that was some of the best days of their life.
They enjoyed their time.
They enjoyed their time there.
Spend some time.
So maybe these spirits are going up there for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's a lot of activities up there. And, we just don't want to tell you about the forest people because there are so many spirits up there as well.
Yeah. And, when we started hosting the investigations up there, we weren't even thinking about Bigfoot up there.
Yeah, exactly.
We told the stories of the Native American settlements that were in the area, told the stories of course the fort and all of the land, all the history of the land around there that we knew. And the first group that came up there for a private overnight said, you've got Bigfoot up here? after they finished their investigation,
right.
You got Bigfoot up here? I was like,
that easy. Yeah, that's usually how it happens.
And then just about every group since then has had a Bigfoot encounter up there. So
and that was Chad and them. Chad's good people, right?
Well, they were the second group. The first group that investigated up there, actually, Christopher Lee Jansen, who will be part of the trifecta, he was there that first night.
Oh, really?
It was Black Cat Paranormal, and they're from Indiana, Ohio. They're from all over up that way. Yeah, the team they come from a lot of different directions to form one team, and they came down here for our first private overnight and had a Bigfoot encounter. And I didn't have any. I was glad to hear it because, I like the forest people. And it was good to know that they were there. And then since that time, like I say, pretty much every group that's been up there has had a Bigfoot encounter. We've had several Bigfoot encounters. He and I were posing for a picture up there the first time I took him up there and had a tree pushed over while we were posing for the picture.
Yeah, exact same time.
Denise actually caught the look on our faces as the tree was falling. Because both of us, when she snapped the picture, both of us are like,
yeah, it was 4th of July night, man.
Yeah. We were looking over like,
yeah, like what just happened?
Wow. But we've had all kinds of Bigfoot activity. We do have all kinds of spirit activity as well, though. And then, like David Keith says over in the chat, they had all three the night they were there. They had the forest people. They had spirit activity. We caught a picture of a lady in white that night. And we all saw a glowing bluish, I guess, electric blue orb that looked like a star, but it was bigger than a star. And it kind of went, it made a movement that stars don't make. And it shot off out of sight, in the blink of an eye. And we all watched that. Because, it kind of caught, I believe it was Adam Keith that pointed it out at first and said, "What is that?" And we all looked up and we're sitting there watching it. And then it made this little loop and then was just gone.
Yeah, we was up there weekend before last with Vernon and Barn and Buffy.
Yep.
And I believe all of us, we seen a soldier up there.
Yeah, walking
on the wall, going back and forth. And Vernon was calling it, what was he calling it?
A loop.
A loop?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, I kept doing it over and over and over. And yeah, we all seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had his backpack on. He had a gun over his shoulder. And I even shot my red light on him. Pretty cool stuff.
It's amazing what you experience up there.
I know, yeah.
So,
but yeah, they're still up our gardening.
Absolutely.
They're not going nowhere. And the people that are coming through the trifecta
might just get to see.
Hey, you never know.
Might just get to see that. They might get to have an encounter with the forest people, and we might have some extraterrestrial activity.
Yeah, part of the UFO connection goes. All the strange lights and everything. Yeah, some nights up here you would think he was in an episode of Scully and
the X-Files.
Yeah, the X-Files.
Yeah.
Or back in my time,
Project Blue Book,
Kojak, the Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker.
Yeah, with all the cryptids and everything, and ghosts and demons. And, yeah, it was way before its time, man.
Oh yeah, there was a show that was on for a little while called Project Blue Book that was based on
I remember
Project Blue Book,
right.
The Air Force's investigation into
what
they call UAPs now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we're hoping that if you get a chance, go online, get your tickets, come see us this weekend at the Trifecta, because I really think that it's going to be a good time with the group of people we got coming. The energy is going to be off the chain.
That's good bang for your buck.
It is. And there's a lot of add-ons. You can add on a picnic with the packs, which you come back here to the Ditto House, and you'll have my world famous burgers and wieners.
World famous.
World famous.
Shout out to Denise. She marinates them all night long.
Under my direction.
And that's why they taste so good, she tells me.
No, it's because I cook them.
Well, you gotta give her some
Why are you sucking up? She didn't even.
Because she's in there listening, man. You don't want to get your wife.
You're gonna get hit in the back of the head
like
with a
boot
broom
or something in
something.
here, man.
You never know. But
I don't want to turn into a toad or nothing.
Yeah, she could cast a spell on me.
Cast a spell on me, yeah.
But if you can't catch us this weekend, we do spirit squatches and stories around the campfire. What is she talking about? Folks, I don't know what she's talking about.
I can assure Ernie that his wiener is not world famous. What the?
What is she talking about? PG-13.
Well, as Brad, Todd feeds him enough of them. He ought to know.
Yeah. I can hardly keep enough hot dogs on the grill to feed our guests because Todd's got to feed Red. But Red keeps getting hot dogs while I'm trying to cook.
They get to hang out with Red Dog too.
The paranormal pooch. Red Dog, everybody's favorite dog.
In the most haunted house in Kentucky.
In the most haunted house in Kentucky. You can also get a reading from Christopher Lee Jansen, who was the best psychic medium that'll be here this weekend. He's one of the best in the world, folks. Seriously. He's really, really, I mean, his energy, we talk about energy.
Yeah.
He will look into your soul. I'm telling you, he is a high energy person. And
good dude,
a really good dude. And so I mean it's going to be worth it. But like I say, if you can't catch us this weekend, we do spirit squatches and stories around the campfire 3 or 4 times a year at least. We got another one coming up in July. We'll start advertising for that after the Trifecta event's over with. We're also going to be at the Rock Island Esoteric Expo in Rock Island, Illinois. We're on the Friday night before the convention. All of us are going to be joined by Grizzly Chris and Greg Bakken to do basically a trifecta type event up there at Black Hawk Forest.
The Black Forest.
Black Hawk Forest.
Black Hawk Forest.
Black Hawk Forest.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time, though. We're going to do the CE5 experiment there as well. And Greg's going to be leading. Greg Bakken is going to be leading that. And then we'll be at the expo the next day. Wade Kirby's going to be there with the Nesper folks. They're going to have the Devils on the Run tour, which includes the Annabelle doll that you've heard so much about here lately. She's been sneaking out and burning down plantation houses, apparently, according to the internet. So it's got to be true. But you can come and check out the Annabelle doll. You can see all of the artifacts that they have from the Warren Occult Museum there. And there's a lot of other add-ons up there as well. There's going to be a lot of speakers. We're going to be hosting a Bigfoot roundtable up there where you can sit down with us and ask your questions face to face. Come and see us at the tables. That expo is going to be different from any Paracon you've ever experienced before. It's not celebrity driven. It is driven by paranormal researchers who are out, boots on the ground people all the time, in the woods, in the haunted locations, doing their thing. And so it's going to be a really informational kind of expo. A lot of good vendors. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, one lady, that one witch having a seance.
Patty Negri's going to be there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool, don't it?
Yeah. There's a lot to do.
Yeah,
there's a whole lot to do.
Yeah, I've never been involved in a seance. Sounds pretty.
Scared?
No, I ain't scared of nothing.
I think you're scared. I can see it.
But I would have to see that to believe
it. Well, that's what people say about the things you say, isn't it?
Yeah, but I come through though, don't I?
You do.
No, it just seems like every time there's a seance, like on a movie or a TV show,
it's fake.
It's fake.
Yeah,
that's why they get a bad name. That's
exactly.
I mean, I don't say it don't happen to you. I mean,
yeah,
I don't doubt anything.
You never know, but you can come and find out for yourself.
Yeah,
at the Rock
come find out.
And let's see, you're going to be speaking again, like you mentioned it earlier, at the Indiana Bigfoot Research Organization's second annual.
Yeah, second annual, September 26th and 7th, Nashville, Indiana. Leroy Nell's group. Yeah, I'm in the group. Barney's in the group. He spoke last year. Yeah, that's the Bigfoot conference, and I'll be speaking again. And that's in beautiful Nashville, Indiana. You'll love it there.
Beautiful little town. Yep.
So tickets are going fast for that event. And then what's after that?
Golly. Well, Rock Island will be next.
Yeah, that's the week.
We're also going to be.
Yeah, Rock Island's the week after that. Yeah.
But folks,
I'll be busy coming up this summer.
Absolutely. Denise and I are also going to be guest hosts in September. I believe it's September 6th this year at the Bell Witch Cave.
Bell Witch, in
Adams, Tennessee. SQUATCHMAN's been down there, and Big Red came to see him down there. They have the trifecta down there on that property. I mean, people have heard of the Bell Witch Cave. They've heard stories about the Bell Witch that may or may not be true. Todd and Leanne can tell you the true story of the Bell Witch Cave or the Bell Witch.
Yeah, it's a good time, man.
It's a really good site. And a good time. And Todd and Leanne put on an outstanding.
Outstanding. Yeah, they got good stops.
Yep. It's basically 3 locations.
Yeah, 3 locations. Yeah, you can't beat it.
So check that out. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I've talked my butt off already. You got anything else to say?
No, other than I appreciate all the people that's been listening to this, and I hope they had a good evening, and
maybe you learned a little bit.
Yeah, maybe you learned something from us,
and maybe you got the itch to buy a ticket for this weekend.
Yeah, we'd love to meet you. And like Ernie said, everybody that comes to the fort, they have a great time. I mean, we have this one dude, Chad, and his wife. What's her name?
Chad Cummings, his wife, David and Adam Keith.
Yeah,
they've been to every.
David and Adam.
One.
Yeah, they've been to every one, and they have a blast, man. They know stuff happens there. They wouldn't keep coming back.
Absolutely.
I mean, they like Ernie's up there, man, putting all that money in his pocket. I hardly see any of it. I get gas money. And Ernie, you don't keep much either.
I don't keep any. Actually, we donate more
to the fort.
What our cut would have been.
Yeah, just like yesterday, they had to clean the fort day. Yeah, they had almost 25 people up there.
23 volunteers showed up, and some of them were folks who've been up to our events.
So the money he's turning over to the mayor, the mayor's reinvesting that up there at the fort.
Well, actually, now it doesn't go through the city at all. Friends of Fort Duffield is a 501c3.
Oh, they do now. Oh.
So we put it straight into the Friends of Fort Duffield account.
You've been up there. They did a lot up there. There's a little mini pavilion up there in case it rains. They got a bunch of benches made. We had a lot of storms come through lately. There were trees everywhere. They chopped them up. They sawed them up.
We've got most of that cleaned up. Everything's cleaned out now where you can get around.
Yeah, get around.
But there's still more work to do because we had just storm after storm.
Yeah, tornadoes, floods.
Yeah, we've had it rough weather-wise.
Yeah, we really have, man.
But
we're due for good weather.
We really are, and it's today. If today is any indication of what next weekend will be like, today was a nice, cool day. We had a few sprinkles of rain off and on early in the day, but hopefully next weekend the weather stays like it was this past. Well, Saturday night was beautiful.
Yeah, it was, and I think there's only a 10% chance of rain Saturday.
Yeah,
so that ain't nothing.
No, so come and see us. Get your tickets. Go to extremeticketing.com. Search for Trifecta 2.0.
And the hours for that, if they don't know,
7 p.m. till 2 a.m.
7 to 2.
And then the picnic with the packs will be the following day, Sunday at 11 a.m. And no telling how long it'll take us to run everybody off after the picnic. So,
and again, other than what Ernie has, with just me and a few other people. He already named all the people are going to be there. So, you're getting a lot of good people in the industry going to be there.
A lot of...
Sarah, Paranormal Blonde, Rob, the guy who posts a picture of his little dog every day. What's his dog's name? Rob.
Yeah. His dog is Leo.
Leo.
They named the Pope after him.
Oh, Pope Leo.
They named the Pope after Rob's dog.
Yeah, okay. And then you're going to have the Todd, the Leanne.
Christopher Lee Jansen.
Yeah, tell them what Jansen does.
Psychic medium. He's going to be running the CE5 experiment.
But if people want a private reading,
he'll do a private reading.
You got to pay for those.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to
add on to he'll give you any kind of reading. He'll give you a card reading or just straight up reading, whatever. He'll work with you. He works in lots of different mediums, and he's really good at what he does. So, highly recommend him. Can't recommend him enough, actually.
So there you go. So everything in a nutshell, man. Why wouldn't you be there? And all that for what? How much is it?
There's different tiers of tickets.
Different tiers. Oh, yeah.
So just go to the website, look on there, and see what fits your budget, and come and join us. We're gonna have merch. I know Get Haunted will have a lot of their merch. I don't know. You got any shirts left?
Yeah, I got shirts I'll bring.
Get you a SQUATCHMAN shirt.
Yeah, and I've seen Get Hot has been putting out a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, they're putting out new merch all the
Show
time.
me your orbs, stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
how many fingers am I holding up with the little ghost doing this? Yeah.
They're pretty good, man. It's a good idea.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Good times, man.
So come and see us. We love y'all. We appreciate everybody that chimed in the chat. We'll see you again. I'm not sure if we're going to do a show next Sunday night or not because we got a big weekend coming up. And by Sunday night, I might be shot. But we'll let you know between now and then. So you guys take care.
Good night, Memorial Day weekend.
Happy Memorial Day weekend. Remember the reason why you got this 3-day weekend, folks. It's for those who gave all.
Yeah, I gave it their all, man. And it's been great. We love y'all. And have a great night, man.
That's right. And I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna cut him off if I have to. We're still here right now.